the strength of someone's Wi-Fi or the speed of their computer, but our bidders can only submit that bid while the lot is still open on their computer. So my acceptance of a last-minute bid is not reopening the lot, it's just acknowledging that some Wi-Fi speeds are faster than others. This does happen a few times every auction, so we do appreciate your patience in advance for when it does occur. A sliding buyer's premium starting at 25% and lessening with higher valued lots will be applied to the hammer price of all individual lots and is described in a bit more detail in item number 2 in our terms and conditions. We're proud to offer cut bidding here at Heritage Auctions. It's a fantastic tool. You're allowed to use this once per lot per bidder. It allows you to advance the bid by half of the usual increment, lets you stretch your bids to help you win the lots you want most. Occasionally, you might hear me say prior. That means we have a tie. So I will take the bid that I had first and invite you to advance us, oftentimes using that cut bid. I will remind you, though, as we go along. Any lots that are still available, or I say are on ha.com, will be, of course, available as post-auction buys. To win these, those offers are first come, first serve. So make sure you run over there very quickly after the sale if you miss something, or as I always say, bid in the moment. If you have any issues relating to your participation in this sale, please call Vanessa Banda at 214-409-3127. And I am required to announce that in compliance with TDLR Rule 67.40, notice is hereby provided that this auction is covered by a recovery fund administered by the Texas Department of Licensing and Regulation, P.O. Box 257, Austin, Texas, 78711. If you want to give them a call, they're at 512-463-6599. And now that that's done, we are so honored to present this curated selection from the collection of Franck, legendary dealer, philanthropist, collector, and connoisseur. This selection highlights Franck's interest in European and Japanese modernism and realism, specifically the artful photojournalism of photographers that he personally championed, such as Joseph Kudelka, Christopher Killip, Graham Smith, and of course his brother-in-law, Henri Cartier-Bresson. And this sale offers a unique selection of opportunities for the truly refined collector. And our exceptional team, Nigel, Laura, and Maya, are so proud to offer it to you today. So without further ado, let's get started with lot 73001. And from here on out, I will just call them lots 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on and so forth. So lot number 1, John, what do we have?
We need 700.
Come in at 700, Heritage Live. Let's advance. Show me 700. To start us off, we have Kiichi Asano's A Rainy Commencement Ceremony in Kyoto, shot in 1953, January. I need 700. Looking for 700 to advance us. Heritage Live, jump back in at 700. Looking for 700 to start us off. And this was acquired directly from the estate of Kiichi Asano. I need 700, Heritage Live. Come back in at 7. Go for 700. Kiichi Asano, A Rainy Commencement Ceremony in Kyoto, Japan, shot January 1953. Come back in at 700, Heritage Live. Let's advance. Go for 700. Otherwise, this will be available as a post-auction buy. And remember, those offers are accepted on a first-come, first-served basis, so we cannot guarantee that you will win it there. Unless I see 700, Heritage Live, it is fair warning. Last chance. All right, this lot will be on ha.com shortly as a post-auction buy. Lot number 2, what do we have? 7,000 is bid here. Let's say 75. At 7,000, looking for 7,500. Next, we have Josef Kudelka's Žera, Czechoslovakia, shot 1967. Come back in at 7,500. At 7,000, it's with my advanced bidder. It's against you live online. Come back in at 7,500, Heritage Live.
8,000.
75. 8,000 with my advanced bidder. Let's go 85. Come back in at 8,500. As I said, still with that advanced bidder against you online live. I need 8,500 to advance, or I would accept that cut bid, that half increment, to take us to 8,250. At 8,000, I can sell it there, but come back in, Heritage Live, an early print, vintage print, 1967, formerly in the collection of Alan Porter as well, editor of Camera Magazine. And 8,250 comes in on the cut bid, 8,500, still with my advanced bidder. Let's say 9,000. At 85, take us to 9, Heritage Live. Let's advance. Josef Kudelka, Žera, Czechoslovakia. I need 9,000. At 85, with my advanced bidder, I can sell it there, and I will, unless I see 9,000, Heritage Live. Unless you advance us once more, say 9,000, or I will say, fair warning, if you're absolutely sure. 9,000, 95, still with my advanced bidder. Let's go for 10. Heritage Live, come back in at 10,000 for the Kudelka. 9,500, it's against you online. Say 10,000, let's advance. 9,500 with my advanced bidder, go for 10. Give it one more, Heritage Live, advance us to 10,000, come back in, or I will sell at 9,500, unless I see 10,000. Fair warning with my advanced bidder at 9,500. 9,500, we'll take it home. Internet buyer, lot number 3, what do we have?
7,000.
Come in at 7,000, Heritage Live. I'm looking for 7,000 to start us off. Jump in at 7. We have our first Henri Cartier-Bresson of the day, New Orleans, Louisiana, shot 1947. Go for 7,000. Heritage Live, come back in. Take us to 7,000. Let's advance. Bid 7,000. This image is heavily featured in the artist literature here as well. Come back in an early print. Go for 7,000. Heritage Live, show me 7,000. Let's advance for our first Cartier-Bresson of the day, New Orleans, Louisiana. Say 7,000, Heritage Live. Let's advance. Unless I see 7,000 exactly, I will say fair warning. Last chance if you're absolutely sure. All right, we'll hold on to that one. It'll be available as a post-auction buy. Lot number 4, what do we have? 7,000 is bid here. Let's go 75. 7,000, looking for 75 next. Our next Josef Kudelka here, we have a young gypsy suspected of murder in Yarobina, Czechoslovakia. Let's go 75. At 7,000, it's with my advanced bidder once more. I need 7,500 to come back in. Heritage Live, I would accept that cut bid at 7,250. At 7,000, I can sell it there, but I want to see 75. Of course, one of those moving images from Kudelka's celebrated series on the lives of the Roma gypsies in Czechoslovakia. Come back in at 75. Heritage Live, advance us one more time to 7,500, or I can sell it at 7,000 to my advanced bidder. Fair warning, 7,000. Internet buyer, thank you. Lot number 5, what do we have?
3,500.
Say 3,500. Heritage Live, bid 3,500 to start us off. Let's advance. Our next Cartier-Bresson, we have the Seine, and of course, Paris, France, 1955. Come back in at 3,500. Looking for 35 to advance. Heritage Live, show me 3,500. Acquired directly from the artist, of course, Eric Franck's brother-in-law at 35. Advance us there. Heritage Live, come back in for 3,500 for our Cartier-Bresson of the Seine, shot 1955. Say 3,500. Heritage Live, come back in, or I will say, if you're absolutely sure, fair warning, last chance unless I see that 35. All right, this will be available as a post-auction buy. Lot number 6, what do we have?
3,500.
Looking for 35 to start us off here as well. Heritage Live, come in at 3,500. Let's advance. Cartier-Bresson, we have the Quai de Javel in Paris, 1932. I need 3,500. Say 35. Heritage Live, come back in. Let's get involved at 3,500. At 34, I need 35 to advance. If it doesn't sell now, Heritage Live, there's no guarantee that you'll win it as a post-auction buy. Say 3,500, advance us. Another example of the photographer's early work here. He was only about 24 at the time. Let's go 35. Show me 3,500, Heritage Live. Show me that advance for our next Cartier-Bresson. Take us there, or it's fair warning. Last chance. All right, this one will be available as a post-auction buy. Lot number 7, what do we have, John?
3,500.
Looking for 3,500 here as well. This is our first lot of the day by Christopher Killip, and our first time offering his work at Heritage, an exceptionally rare artist to appear on the market. I need 3,500. Come in at 35. Heritage, let's advance. Come back in at 35. At 34, I need 35 to continue. We have Liso and Gunn in North Yorkshire, shot in 1980. First of a number of important photographs that we're going to offer today, all taken in the north of England in the 1980s during the Thatcher years. And Killip's work bears witness to the rise of unemployment and the decline of the fortunes of the British working class. Very important work here, that exceptional photojournalism, so loved by Eric Franck. I need 3,500 to advance. Heritage Live, let's take it there. Or I will say, fair warning, last chance unless I see 3,500. All right, this one will be available as a post-auction buy. Lot number 8, what do we have?
3,500.
Coming at 35, Heritage Live, our first of 2 works we're offering today by Graham Smith, another fantastic British artist, with the Black Path Clay Lane Furnaces, the derelict remains of Cargo Fleet Iron Company in Middlesbrough. I need 3,500. Come back in at 35. Heritage Live, let's advance. Take us there. Smith exhibited with his friend Christopher Killip at the Serpentine Gallery in 1985, and their subsequent show in 1991, titled, let's see, British Photographs from the Thatcher Years, was, of course, a reflection of the declining fortunes of the working class, and it was so heavily criticized by the British media, rather unfairly criticized, that Smith gave up photography altogether after this. So his work is exceptionally uncommon, on the market. At 3,500 Heritage Live, give it one more, take us there. A rare collecting opportunity. Say 3,500, or I'll say fair warning. Last chance unless I see 35. All right, this one will be on HA.com as a post-auction buy. Lot number 9, what do we have?
4,900.
Come in at 4,900. Heritage Live bid 4,900. Let's advance our next work by Kiichi Asano. His portfolio here with 21 works in total, all shot between 1955 and 1960. Come in at 5,000. Come in at 4,900. Looking for 4,900 only to advance. Heritage Live, advance us to 4,900. 21 works in this portfolio and acquired directly from the photographer's estate. Come back in at 4,900. Let's advance. And this group does include the artist's rare self-portrait from 1957, which is only available in this portfolio. So do not miss this opportunity. Heritage Live, show me 4,900. Let's advance. Come back in, or I will say fair warning. Last chance if you're absolutely sure. Heritage Live. All right, this one will be available on HA.com. Lot number 10, what do we have?
3,500.
Go for 35. Heritage Live, come in at 3,500. Our next, Graham Smith. We have Tarzan Swing off the King Edward Bridge over the River Tyne. At 3,500 next, come back in. Heritage Live, let's get involved. Let's advance. Show me 3,500. A work acquired directly from Smith. An incredible shot here. The artist described it as a celebration of youthful risk-taking and the spirit of adventure, something he sees as increasingly lacking in subsequent generations. Let's say 3,500. At 35, I need that 35 to advance. Heritage Live, so come back in. Don't miss out. Say 3,500. Let's advance together, or I will say fair warning, unless I see that 3,500. Last chance. All right, this one will be available as a post-auction buy on HA.com. Lot number 11, what do we have?
4,200.
Come in at 42. Heritage Live, let's bid 42 to advance. Our next photograph by Christopher Killip. We have Cookie in the Snow at Seacole Camp in Northumberland, shot 1984. Let's go 4,200. Looking for 42 to advance. Another work acquired directly from the artist by Franck. Let's advance. Heritage Live, show me 42. Go to 4,200. Give it one more beautiful image of endurance. One of his most memorable photographs. Looking for 4,200 next. Heritage Live for Christopher Killip. Advance us there. Heritage Live, or it's fair warning. Last chance unless I see 42. All right, this will be available on HA.com. Lot number 12, what do we have?
800.
800. Let's say 850. 800 is bid. I need 850 to advance. Our first by Yindra Streit here today. We have Khrushchev, shot in 1981. It's at 800 with my advance bidder. It's against you live online, so let's say 850. Come back in at 850. I would accept that cut to 825. At 800, I can sell it, but I want to see 850. Heritage Live, I want you to have this opportunity. Advance us. Bid 850. Another work acquired directly from the artist. It's what we love to see. Fantastic documentary photograph here focusing on that Czech rural life and its inhabitants. I need 850 next. Heritage Live, or as I said, I would accept that cut to 825, or I will sell it here at 800. Fair warning. 800, internet buyer. Thank you. Lot 13.
3,500.
Come in at 35. Heritage Live, bid 3,500. Advance us. Christopher Killip, we have horses on Seacole Beach in Northumberland. At 3,500 next, let's get back in the game. Heritage Live, advance us to 35. Take us there. Beautiful moving scene, collecting sea coal from the beach. It's harvesting that waste, the recycling of residues from dumped coal waste that was put into the sea by the National Coal Board. And 3,400 I need 35 next to advance. Heritage Live, it has to be 35. Come back in for our latest Christopher Killip, horses on Seacole Beach in Northumberland. Take us to 35, Heritage Live, advance us, or I will say, fair warning, last chance, unless I see 3,500 exactly. All right, this one will be available on HA.com. Lot number 14, what do we have?
2,000.
2,000 is bid, let's say 22. At 2,000, looking for 22 to advance. We have Charles Smerden Rose, selected East Anglian studies, 12 works in total. At 2,000, it's with my advance bidder. It's against you online, Heritage Live. Let's say 2,200. Let's advance. Shot and printed in the 1890s. At 2,000, I need 22, or that cut at 2,100 to continue. So come back in. Let's advance. And Smerden Rowe did exhibit at the Royal Photographic Society in 1891 and again in 1895, though he was originally a jeweler and goldsmith by trade before turning to photography full-time. At 2,000, I need 22 next, or that cut Heritage Live, or I will sell it to my advanced bidder here at 2,000. Fair warning, 2,000. We'll take it home. Internet buyer, thank you. Lot 15, what do we have?
4,500.
4,500, go 46. At 4,500, looking for 46 next. Or one of three works that we're offering today by Karen Knorr. And I have 46, 48 now. Let's say 5,000. 4,800, looking for 5 next. We have a place like Amravati from the series India Song. At 5,000 now, who will say 55? 55 in a new place, say 6,000. 55, bid 6. Let's advance. This is our first time ever offering her work here at Heritage Live, and it's 6,000, 65 on Heritage Live. Let's go 7. 65 with you online needs 7,000 next. Heritage Live, jump back in. At 6,500, say 7. Come back in. And she is the only artist working in color that we're featuring in this sale, an under-known artist. Let's advance her to 7,000. At 65, bid 7 next. Heritage Live, I would accept that cut to 6,750. 65. It's with you online. I can sell it there, and I will unless I see that advance to 7,000. Fair warning at 65. 6,500. Heritage Live. 7101. Thank you. Lot 16. What do we have? 800 I have here. Let's make it 850. At 800, looking for 850 to advance. We have Yoshiyuki Iwase's Untitled Reclining Nude from 1955 vintage print as well. At 800, say 850 Heritage Live, let's advance. I would accept that cut to 825, but at 800, it's with my advanced bidder. It's against you online, so come back in. Let's say 850. Jump back in, award-winning photographer here. Originally heir to a whiskey distillery, but opted instead to become a photographer, documenting the traditional life of people living on the Chiba Peninsula, focusing particularly on the women and girls who harvested abalone and seaweed by free diving into the sea. What a career choice, and it paid off. At 800 now, I need 850 to advance. Come back in, Heritage Live, as I said, award-winning photographer, Yoshiyuki Iwase, his reclining nude from 1955. Show me 850, or that cut at 825, or I will say, fair warning, at 800. 800, we'll take it home. Internet buyer, thank you. Lot 17, what do we have?
7,000.
Come in at 7,000, Heritage Live, let's advance, go 7,000. Our next Cartier-Bresson, Alicante, Spain, shot 1933, say 7,000. Let's advance. Jump back in. Heritage Live takes to 7,000. Another image extensively represented in the artist literature. I need 7,000 to advance us. So get involved. Heritage Live, say 7,000. It has to be 7,000 to continue. So come back in. Cartier-Bresson, Alicante, Spain, shot in 1933. Go for 7,000. Heritage Live. Advance us. Or I will say, fair warning, unless I see 7,000 precisely. Last chance. All right, this one will be available on HA.com. Lot number 18, what do we have?
3,500.
Come in at 3,500, Heritage Live. Bid 3,500 to start us off. Our next Cartier-Bresson of Paris in 1932. Say 3,500. Come back in. Cheeky dogs of Paris, up to no good. The sort of street photography you really cannot stage. Let's go 3,500. Take us there, Heritage Live. Let's advance to 3,500 for Cartier-Bresson, Paris in 1932. Go for 3,500, Heritage Live. Give it one more, or I will say fair warning unless I see that advance. All right, this will be on HA.com as a post-auction buy. Lot number 19, what do we have?
1050.
Come in at 1,050. Heritage Live, let's advance. We have Miho from the series Mamanako, shot by Gladys, a very mysterious contemporary artist. Information on her is exceptionally rare. I need 1,050 to advance. Come back in at 1,050. And there are 3 works in this lot in total, all acquired directly from the artist. Say 1,050, Heritage Live. Advance us. Come back in 1,050. 3 works in total by Gladys. Show me 1,050, Heritage Live. Show me that advance. Or I will say, fair warning, last chance. All right, this will be available on HA.com. Lot number 20, what do we have?
4,200.
Come in at 42. Heritage Live, bid 4,200 to advance. Our next work by Josef Kadelka, Switzerland, Falling Snow, shot 1978. An early print as well, printed early 1980s. Go 4,200. At 4,000 I have, looking for 42 to advance. It has to be 42, Heritage Live. So come back in at 4,200. for the Josef Kadelka. Beautiful falling snow in Switzerland. Take us there, Heritage Live, or it will be, fair warning, last chance, unless I see 42. All right, this will be available on ha.com as a post-auction buy. Lot 21, what do we have? Coming at 5,600. Go for 56. Heritage Live, our next Kadelka. We have Velka Lomnica in Czechoslovakia, shot 1966. Go for 5,600. Heritage Live, come back in at 56. Let's get involved. Say 5,600. Advance us. Take us to 56. Beautiful shot of locals in Czechoslovakia in the mid-1960s. An early print from the 1980s. I need 5,600 next. Heritage Live, come back in at 5,600. Advance us for the Josef Kadelka. Take us there, or I will say fair warning unless I see it. Last chance. All right, this will be available on ha.com. Lot 22, what do we have?
3,500.
Coming at 35, Heritage Live, let's advance. Bid 3,500, our next work by Christopher Killip. We have A Girl Collecting Money for Guy Fawkes Day, shot 1979. At 3,500 next, Heritage Live, let's advance. Jump back in at 3,500. Acquired directly from the artist. Of course, anyone in the UK is familiar with Guy Fawkes Day, also known as Bonfire Night, held November 5th, commemorating the failed gunpowder plot of 1605. Let's go 3,500. Heritage Live, let's advance. Christopher Killip, rare to market. I need 3,500 to continue, or I will say fair warning, Heritage Live. Last chance. All right, we'll hold on to that one as a post-auction buy. Lot 23, what do we have?
3,500.
3,500 is bid here. I need 36 next. At 35, let's say 36, we have Baked Beans in North Shields, Tyneside, photographed in 1983. An early print here, printed 1986. At 3,500, it's with my advance bidder. It's against you online, Heritage Live, so come back in at 3,600. At 35, let's go for 36. We're already on that cut bid here. It's a free cut to you, Heritage Live. So say 3,600. Let's get involved. Let's advance. Acquired directly from the artist, never before on the public market. Say 3,600. Or I can sell it to my advance bidder at 35, and I will. Fair warning, 3,500. Internet buyer. Thank you. Lot 24, what do we have?
1050.
Coming at 1,050, Heritage Live to start us off. Go 1,050 for Enzo Salarius Vizzini from 1955. Go 1,050. Looking for 1,050 to advance. Come back in. Another work acquired directly from the artist. Heritage Live, show me 1,050 to continue. Get involved. You do not want to miss these opportunities. Show me 1,050 next. Come back in. Unless I see that advance, Heritage Live, for the Salario, I will say, fair warning, last chance. All right, this will be available as a post-auction buy on ha.com. Lot 25, what do we have?
825.
825 is bid here. Let's go 850 at 825. 850 is next. In his auction debut, we have Al Vandenberg, his untitled work, Two Girls, a vintage print from the 1970s. At 825, it's with my advance bidder. It's against you live online, Heritage Live. So let's say 850 at 825. We're on that cut bid already. It has to be 850 to advance. So come back in. Of course, Vandenberg studied photography in New York City with Richard Avedon and Bruce Davidson. He took candid photographs of ethnic minorities living in urban poverty in New York City before later turning to a career in fashion photography and ultimately in the 1970s abandoning commercial work altogether and focusing on street portraiture like this image here from the 1970s at 825. I need 850 to advance. Heritage Live. Give it one more or I will sell it to my advance bidder at 825. 825. We'll take it home. Internet buyer. Thank you. Lot 26. What do we have? 800. Go 850. 800. Looking for 850. Heritage Live. Come back in. We have Christina Pizza's selected images from the series Cuba. 4 works in total at 800. Still with my advance bidder here, I need 850 to continue. So jump back in, Heritage Live, show me 850. I would accept that cut to 825. These 4 works were acquired directly from the artist, highlighting life in Cuba from 1993 to 1997. At 800, I can sell it there unless I see that advance to 850 or you use that cut and take us to 825, Heritage Live. Fair warning at 800. 800, internet buyer. Thank you. Lot 27, what do we have?
7,000.
Come in at 7,000. Heritage Live, take us to 7,000 to start us off our next Cartier-Bresson of a barber in Rome, photographed in 1951. Show me 7,000. Heritage Live, let's advance. I need 7,000 to continue. So come back in, our latest Cartier-Bresson, a Barber in Rome, 1951. Heritage Live, jump back in. Another vintage print, printed that same year, 1951 as well. Bid 7,000 to advance us. Give it one more Heritage Live. Don't risk losing it in the post-auction buys. But unless I see 7,000, I will say, fair warning if you're absolutely sure. Last chance. All right, this one will be available on ha.com. Lot 28, what do we have?
17,500.
Let's go 17,500 to start us off. We have Henri Cartier-Bresson's Barcelona from 1933. This is an exceptional piece for the refined collector. It is a gelatin silver contact print, printed 1946. After Bresson was captured and imprisoned by the Nazis in 1940, the Museum of Modern Art assumed that he had died and declared that they were going to put on what would have been a posthumous retrospective in New York. Cartier-Bresson, of course, survived and showed up in New York, announcing himself alive, and he brought with him 300 contact prints, including the present example, to show the museum his curatorial vision for his own retrospective. Let's go 17,500, Heritage Live, an exceptional piece highlighting a very special moment in the life of Cartier-Bresson. I need 17,500 to advance. Of course, as a contact print, it is completely unique. I need that 17,500 to advance. Heritage Live, don't miss this opportunity. Take us there. This is a connoisseur's piece for sure. Go 17,500, or I will say, fair warning, you're absolutely sure. Last chance, Heritage Live, unless I see 17,500. All right, this will be available on ha.com as a post-auction buy. Lot 29, what do we have?
1,400.
Come in at 1,400, bid 1,400, let's advance. We have Antanas Sutkus, his pioneer in Ignalina in 1964. Let's advance to 1,400, looking for 14 next, a leading figure in Lithuanian photography here. Sutkus looking for 1,400. Let's advance. Heritage Live, show me 1,400. Come back in. There's a subtle sedition to his work reflecting the hardships of everyday life in Lithuania under Soviet control, but still reflects his warm affection and respect for his countrymen. Let's say 1,400. Come back in at 14. Let's advance. This is one of his finest images. It has the solemn group of pioneers, the Soviet Boy and Girl Scout equivalent. I need 1,400 to advance. Heritage Live, come back in at 14. Or I will say, fair warning, last chance unless I see that advance. All right, this one will be available on ha.com. Lot number 30, what do we have?
640.
640 is bid. Let's say 650. It's 640, looking for 650 to advance. Our next work by Al Vandenberg, his untitled work of two women in a convenience store from 1977. Who will say 650? At 640, it's with my advance bidder. It's against you live online, Heritage Live, so come back in. Take us to 650. At 640, I can sell it there, but I want to let you advance. Come back in. Show me 650 Heritage Live, acquired directly from the artist from 1977. As I said, firmly in his street photography period. Go for 650. Put that advance in, Heritage Live, or I will sell it to my advance bidder at 640. 640. We'll take it home. Internet buyer, thank you. Lot 31, what do we have?
3,500.
Come in at 3,500. Our next work by Christopher Killip, Rocker and a Toad, out at Seacole Camp in England, shot in 1983. Let's say 35. Heritage Live, let's advance. At 3,500 next. Heritage Live, get involved. Show me 35. Another work acquired directly from Christopher Killip. I need 3,500 next. Bid 35. Heritage Live, show me 3,500. Advance us once more. Take us to 35 for the sweet, wonderful, gentle portrait here of a young boy, Rocker, describing the differences between a frog and a toad in an impassioned manner. Let's say 3,500, or I will say, fair warning, last chance, unless I see 35. All right, this will be available on ha.com. Lot 32, what do we have?
3,500.
Come in at 35 here as well. Heritage Live, jump in at 3,500. Christopher Killip's Bingo in the West End in Newcastle upon Tyne, shot 1975. 34, looking for 3,500 next. I need 3,500 to advance. Kind of a tragic image here of a casual neglect. A child waits outside in the snow as his mother is lured in by a bingo game. I need 3,500 next. Heritage Live, come back in at 35. Let's advance. Poignant historical photograph, say 3,500. Let's take it there. Or at 3,400, unless I see 35 exactly, I will say fair warning, last chance. All right, this will be available on HA.com. Lot 33, what do we have?
3,500.
3,500 is bid here. Let's say 36. At 35, looking for 36. Next, we have Chris Killip's Punks Dancing in Tyneside, 1986, vintage print here as well. I need 3,600 next. At 35, it's with my advanced bidder. It's against you live online. Go for 3,600. Heritage Live, come back in. We're on that cut here at 35 already. It's a free cut to you online, so jump back in. Show me 3,600. At 35, I can sell it to my advanced bidder, and I will unless I see 36. Fair warning. 3,500. We'll take it home. Internet buyer, thank you. Lot 34, what do we have?
1050.
Come in at 1,050. Looking for 1,050 to advance us. Our next work here by Gladys. It's a group of three. We have Katie and Louis, Le Bouquet de Parfum and L'Arbre in Normandy. I need 1,050 to advance for the group of three. Come back in at 1,050. Heritage Live. Don't delay. Another group of works acquired directly from the artist. As I said, there's not much information on Gladys as an artist, a mysterious figure in contemporary photography. I need 1,050 to continue. Come back in for the group of three. Unless I see 1,050 Heritage Live, it will be fair warning if you're absolutely sure. All right, this will be available on HA.com. Lot 35, what do we have?
2,800.
Come in at 28, Heritage Live. Jump in at 2,800. Our next Henri Cartier-Bresson, we have Jean Renoir, shot in 1960 at 26. I need 28 next. Heritage Live, I need 2,800 to advance. So come back in, say 28. Take us there, Heritage Live, acquired directly from the artist. Of course, Eric Frank's brother-in-law, Henri Cartier-Bresson. I need 2,800 to advance, Heritage Live. So take us there at 26. It has to be 28. Unless I see that 2,800 for the portrait of Jean Renoir, I will have to say, fair warning. You're absolutely sure. Last chance. All right, this will be available on HA.com. Lot 36, what do we have?
5,800.
Go for 58. Heritage Live, come in at 5,800. Bid 58. Let's advance together. We have our next Cartier-Bresson. We have Eunuch of the Imperial Court at Beijing, 1949. Let's go 5,800. Looking for 5,800 to advance us. Come back in. Heritage Live, don't be shy. Advance to 58. Photograph, of course, from 1949, shot on his tour of the East. I need 5,800 to advance. Unless I see it, it will be fair warning. Heritage Live, last chance. All right, check HA.com to pick this one up as a post-auction buy. Lot 37, what do we have?
2,100.
Come in at 21, looking for 2,100. Our next Cartier-Bresson, we have an academician on his way to Notre Dame in Paris in 1953. Let's say 2,100. Looking for 21 to start us off. Come back in, Heritage Live, bid 2,100. Let's advance. Acquired directly from the artist once more. I need 2,100 to continue Heritage Live, so get involved, or I will say fair warning. Last chance unless I see 21. All right, this will be on HA.com. It's a post-auction buy. Lot 38, what do we have?
3,500.
3,500 is bid here. Let's say 36. 35, looking for 36 next. At 35, with my advanced bidder, it's against you live online. Say 36, our next Cartier-Bresson. We have Carnival in Nord-Pas-Calais in 1976, acquired, of course, as always, directly from the artist. I need 36 next. I can sell it to my advanced bidder at 35, Heritage Live, unless you take us to 36 exactly. Fair warning at 3,500. 3,500, internet buyer. Thank you. Lot number 39, what do we have?
5,600.
Come in at 5,600. Heritage Live, let's bid 5,600. Let's advance. Our next work by Josef Kudelka. We have Gera in Czechoslovakia, 1967. An early print here, printed 1971. Looking for 5,600. Come in at 56. Heritage Live, let's advance. For the Kudelka, acquired directly from Kudelka himself. I need 56. Heritage Live, take us there. Has to be 56. Unless I see it, it will be fair warning once more. Last chance. All right, check HA.com for that one as a post-auction buy. Lot 40, what do we have?
3,500.
Say 3,500, Heritage Live, bid 3,500 to advance. We have Lahore, Pakistan, photographed in 1947 by Henri Cartier-Bresson. I need 3,400 next. Excuse me, I need 35. I need 3,500 to advance. Jump back in at 35. Of course, 1947 was a major year for Cartier-Bresson. He co-founded the illustrious Magnum Photo Agency that year and embarked on a major 3-year expedition to the Indian subcontinent to record the enormous socio-political changes happening there. I need 3,500 to advance Heritage Live, jump back in, or I will say fair warning. Last chance, unless I see 35. All right, this one will be on HA.com. That's a post-auction buy. Lot 41, what do we have?
3,500.
Come in at 35. Heritage Live, jump back in at 3,500. Let's get involved. Our next Cartier-Bresson, we have a street corner in Kyoto, Japan, photographed in 1965. Say 3,500. Looking for 3,500 to advance. Who will say 35? Heritage Live, come back in at 3,500. Beautiful shot of Kyoto, 1965. A vintage print here as well. I need 3,500 next. Unless I see 35 exactly, Heritage Live, it will be fair. Warning, last chance. All right, you can look at ha.com, pick this one up as a post-auction buy. Lot 42, what do we have?
Need 5,600.
Come in at 56, Heritage Live, bid 5,600. Let's advance to 56. We have Cartier-Bresson's view of Shanghai, China in 1949. Say 5,600. Looking for 56 next. Who will advance us to 56? Heritage Live, come back in. A very kind of tragic shot here of the offices of the American President Shipping Line, referring to the exodus of Americans and Europeans from Shanghai in 1949 because of the imminent communist revolution and the threat to those who remained. I need 5,600 to advance. Great historical moment here. I need 56. Heritage Live for the Cartier-Bresson. Advance us, or it will be fair. Warning, last chance. All right, this one will be available on ha.com. Lot 43, what do we have?
3,500.
Coming at 35, say 3,500. Heritage Live, take us to 3,500. We have Christopher Killip's Allison and Dog in Northumberland, 1983. Go for 3,500. 35 to advance. Come back in. Heritage Live, show me 3,500. Take us there. An early print acquired directly from Christopher Killip. Go for 35. Heritage Live, advance us. Get that bid in, or I will say fair warning unless I see it. Last chance. All right, this one will be available on ha.com. Lot 44, what do we have?
700.
Come in at 700. Heritage Live, advance us to 700. Our next Yindrich Strite here, vintage print of Khrushchev in 1980. I need 700 to advance. Go for 700. Heritage Live, come back in. Bid 700. Take us there. Acquired directly from Strite himself. I need 700 to advance. Heritage Live. Unless I see that 700 exactly, it will be fair. Warning. One last chance. Unless I see 7. All right, this one will be available on ha.com. Lot 45, what do we have?
4,200.
4,200 is bid here. I need 44. At 42, looking for 44 next. 44 online, 46 with my advanced bidder, 48, 5,000, 55 now. Say 6. At 5,500, or Josef Kedelka from 1976, shot of Ireland, an early print here. It's online at 5,500. I need 6,000 to advance. Come back in at 6,000. Heritage Live. It's elsewhere on the internet. It's against you, Heritage Live. I need 6,000 or that cut at 5,750, to advance. At 5,500, I can sell it, and I will, unless I see 6,000 or that cut bid. Last chance at 55, 5,750 on the cut. Back with you, Heritage Live. Looking for 6,000 next, and 6,000 comes back in. Who will say 65? At 6,000, need 65 next for the Kedelka. 65, back with Heritage Live, who will say 7. 6,500, looking for 7,000 next. Aaron, what do you say to 7,000? At 65, bid 7, come back in. Ireland, 1976, an early print here. I need 7,000 to advance. Come back in at 7,000, or I will sell it at 6,500, unless I see that 7,000. Last chance at 65. 6,500, Heritage Live. 7102, thank you. Lot 46, what do we have?
4,200.
Come in at 4,200, Heritage Live. 4,200 to advance. Our next Josef Kedelka, England in 1969. At 42 next, come back in. Advance us to 4,200, Heritage Live. What do we say to 4,200? Jump back in. As I said, 1969, printed slightly later, 1990. England by Josef Kedelka. Come back in at 42, Heritage Live. Let's advance. Show me 4,200. Unless I see it, I will say fair warning, last chance. All right, this will be available on ha.com. Lot 47, what do we have?
3,500.
Come in at 35. Heritage Live, jump back in at 3,500. Our next work by Karen Noor, we have The Lifting of Purdah in Jodhpur from the series India Song. Come back in at 35. Looking for 3,500 next. Our next color image here, one of only 5 acquired directly from the artist. Let's say 3,500. Let's advance. Heritage Live, show me 3,500 for the Karen Noor. Let's advance from India Song. Go 3,500 Heritage Live, or I will say fair warning, unless I see it. Last chance. All right, this will be available on HA.com. Lot 48, what do we have?
3,500.
Come in at 35. Heritage Live, jump back in at 3,500. Our last Karen Noor of the day, we have The Inheritor, also from that series, India Song. This one is an artist's proof. Come back in at 35. At 3,500 to advance, another work acquired directly from the artist. Beautiful example from her series, India Song. Say 3,500, Heritage Live. Say you'll advance, or I'll say fair warning unless I see 3,500, last chance. All right, this one will be available on HA.com. Lot 49, what do we have? 1,100 is bid here, let's say 12. 1,100 looking for 12. Next, we have Yoshiyuki Iwase's Modernist Nude from 1960, a vintage print, let's say 1,200. At 1,100, it's with my advance bidder. It's against you live online. Go for 12 or use that cut bid, advance us to 1,150. At 1,100, I can sell it and I will, but I want you to have this opportunity, Heritage Live. Come back in at 1,200. Get that bid in, advance us or it's fair warning with my advance bidder at 1,100. 1,100, internet buyer. Thank you. Lot number 50, what do we have?
700.
Looking for 700, Heritage Live, come back in at 700. 700 is next for our last Yoshiyuki Iwase of the day, and our last lot of the day is Modernist Nude. This one also from 1960, another fantastic vintage print. Let's say 700. Come back in at 7, Heritage Live, let's advance. If you missed out on the last Iwase example, this is your moment to add one to your collection. Say 700, come back in for 700. Get that advance in, Heritage Live. You might not win it as a post-auction buy. Bid 700 now or it's fair warning, last chance. All right, this one will be available on HA.com. And that concludes our sale of the collection of Eric Franck. Thank you all for joining us today, and special congratulations to all our winning bidders. Be sure to check out HA.com to explore post-auction purchasing opportunities on any lots that may have slipped past you today, and be on the lookout for our next Depth of Field monthly auction taking place on December 11th. Once again, thank you for collecting with us today, and we will see you next time. Bye.